Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to continue our series and talking to some graduate students for Graduate Student Appreciation Week. With me right now is Peter Babatuyi. Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
How are you doing today?
I'm always good. I'm grateful.
Good, good. Well, I think start off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. My name is Peter Babatuyi. I'm from Nigeria. I've been working as an environmental health safety and security for like almost 10 years now. I had my first degree in zoology and environmental biology. Then, because of my love for environment, safety, and human life, so I proceeded to do a master's degree in environmental health and safety, which also collaborates with my passion for saving life. And I've discovered a missing link between my experience in the oil and gas field, which I feel there's need for emergency management kind of sort. So because of that, I proceeded to find a program, a suitable one for emergency management that can put me on a platform globally to be able to practice emergency management in collaboration with what I've been doing. And it's been great so far.
So, where did you get your bachelor's degree and what did you study? Tell me a little bit more about that.
All right, so I had my first degree in zoology and environmental biology from the University of Calabar in Nigeria. Then after that, I felt like I wasn't equipped enough to actually do what I planned to do in life. So that actually motivated me to like go ahead to do another master's degree in environmental health and safety under Faculty of Public Health, which really exposed me to a lot of public health intervention and a lot of community emergency management. So that's really been a great thing for me. One of the reasons that also motivated me to like proceed to do a Master of Science in Emergency Management and Homeland Security here in Arkansas Tech University.
Awesome. I want to know how you found out about Arkansas Tech. You're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And here you at Arkansas Tech. So how did you find us?
So when it was time for me to actually proceed for another master's degree, I actually look out to see where specifically I want to do this program, Europe, America, or anywhere. My aim was just to be able to compete with any member of my anybody in my position anywhere in the world. So USA has a great educational system. So I put on Google Map emergency management in the United States. So a list of schools came up. Arkansas Tech University was on top of the list. So I checked a lot of things. One of the things that I picked Arkansas Tech University, I checked the curriculum of the program. It's very robust. It's actually fulfilled what I actually wanted to learn. So I see it as an opportunity to grow in that area. I also consider funding because if you change my currency to dollar, it's a lot of money. So I look out for a program, a school that is affordable and has quality education. So I pick Arkansas Tech University for that. Another box that I tick is affordability, the cost of living in that state, because it's also matter a lot. So I check out the cost of living in Arkansas State. It's very affordable. I'm like, okay, this should be the perfect place for me to study. And aside that, there has been sweet communication between me and the school back and forth, from the graduate department to international students. So this actually made me want to actually be here, because everybody I talked to before coming here was very nice and they spoke well of the program. And also did something, I did in-depth research on everything about the school on LinkedIn. I actually talked to almost people that I'll be working with before I come here on LinkedIn before coming here. From Rest Life to my department to even the current student at that time, to ask more about the program from the student experience.
Sure.
So all these things I concluded and like, this is the best place for me.
Well, I'm going to say, I think I speak for everybody, and I think you made the best choice, and we've really enjoyed having you here as well. I haven't known you too terribly long, but I know in every interaction, I'm like, I'm glad you're a part of our community here. So one thing you said you looked at while you were checking things out was a curriculum.
Yes.
So could you tell us a little bit more about the classes you take and what kind of goes into those courses?
All right, so I've taken so many classes, starting from legal, ethics, social, and political aspects of emergency management. To be honest, I never knew how much impact this thing could have when it comes to the field of emergency management.
Sure.
So this subject actually helped me to understand take for example, the Samaritan Act, which makes volunteers or professionals in health not to be penalized when they are functioning out of the comfort of their profession. Like a doctor that is attending to emergency outside of the hospital environment, they are not liable to any legal implication that might come out of that.
Sure.
So I never knew all that. And aside that, technology in emergency management, in this emerging world, we need to catch up with whatever is happening. Technology is very applicable in every field, in every sector. We've got to learn about how GIS works. We've learned to work about Internet of Things. I've got to learn about the use of AI in emergency management.
Yeah.
In capturing imagery with GIS to be able to determine resources allocation during emergencies. And also I've done a class like, so currently I'm also doing a graduate certification in risk assessment management, cyber risk assessment, which I believe it's also going to have impact in every sector, depending, irrespective of where you are, because I've seen cyber attacks cripple projects. I've seen cyber attack cripple response to emergency. So one needs to like updates, and all these things are what I've learned during this program. And aside that, I've also shared from the experience of the professors, from their industrial experiences, from the teaching environment. I'm also a volunteer for the American Red Cross. So I've been able to to combine these two together. It now makes sense. It's really fitting and achieving the dreams that I've actually set for myself to achieve. I could remember during the eclipse period, I learned a lot of things, about preparedness for emergency, which was one of the reasons why I also wanted to do this program. So both in class and out of class learning has really been very robust for me, and there's no regret so far, I can tell you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the eclipse, it's coming up on about a year ago is when we had the eclipse here, but talking with people on campus, because the emergency management students and faculty were doing a lot on campus, and everybody had just wonderful things to say about how y'all handled that. I know that you are a piece of that team, so it was a good reflection of what the students, how they're prepared.
Yes.
And it's also a great reflection in a community that Arkansas Tech did such a good job at that. And I think like something you brought up too is I hear nothing but fantastic things about the faculty over there, and then I think that speaks volumes when you're talking about the robust hands-on, the robust experiences. So I know that in a few months, here in May, that you're going to be graduating.
Yes.
And you will be departing, and we're very sad to see you go. We're happy for you, but sad to see you go. What's next for Peter after you graduate?
So what actually next for me, because I actually want to work in the field of emergency management so that it could complete the actual learning, what I've learned in class, to put them to practice. But at the same time, it's also part of my goal to obtain a PhD program. So I actually want to focus on public health emergencies, because during COVID-19, I experienced the outbreak and I saw the impact of public health emergency, how important it is. Last month there was measles outbreak in Texas. That's a public health emergency. So I feel it doesn't matter wherever these emergencies are, because I believe the world is global now. People travel to the United States and across the world almost every day on a daily basis. We could see how COVID-19 generated from China and spread throughout the world. So I feel, to me, it's important to focus on that area. Amatari et al. 2020 stated that during the COVID-19 emergency, so many public hospitals, including the United States and so many developing countries, they didn't prepare enough for the pandemic.
Right.
We've actually learned from that pandemic, and that has really increased our preparedness. So I feel this will be a good fit for me to do research in it and to have to specialize in my PhD program, and also to be able to work. I want to be a lecturer in the future, to be able to bridge that gap between the field and the classroom.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
And I say this, and I mean it. I think you would be a great addition to the faculty and be an incredible professor. I want to kind of pivot a little bit. Is I know you're married and you've got a daughter, and I want to ask you, or maybe I don't know if it's asking you or maybe asking you to provide advice. What are some things that you would say about how you managed getting a master's degree while having a family and having a daughter?
So the most important thing for me is having my wife is wonderful. She's lovely. She has really supported me. I remember my baby was just a month old when I departed my country to come study here, and she was just by herself alone with the baby. I wanted to cancel the program, and she was like, "No, this has been your dream. The opportunity is here. I'm ready to support you. Go, we'll be fine." And I left, and it's been great so far. I'm happy they're here now. At least that has brought relief to me, and they are part of my motivation, you know. It's not easy being a student, being a father, being a husband, you know. But she has really made it easy for me to be able to manage them together. And because I've also prepared myself, I'm also determined to achieve these things. So I've been trying to juggle between the two and find a balance between them. Also, the program has also accommodated that too, because even my professors will ask about my family. It goes a long way to me to show how much they care. It's not about just giving me education. They want me to be in the right state of mind to be able to perform well in class. So it's really been good so far, and I appreciate all the professors and every other people that have supported me.
I know, I forget what the last event was when your daughter was there and she was running around and had a lot of energy, and it was so cute. I remember when my kiddos were that young, and it made me miss it a little bit. But I know there's some years to come for you as well, raising kids. So I think to kind of wrap it up, the last thing I would like to ask you about is thinking about if you met Peter a while back, or maybe there's another student that's thinking about getting a master's degree. What kind of advice would you give a student that maybe in the international perspective, or maybe just a student thinking about a graduate degree in general? What kind of advice would you give them, or what kind of questions would you ask them to consider?
So first of all, ask them to define their goals, what they actually want. Speak to somebody in that program to share from this student experience. Connect with the school like a virtual or in person, just to see what's going on in the department. And after all this, make your informed decision to apply for the program. I would also say have backups,
Sure.
It's always good to have backups, and go for the program. That's all I'll say. Be prepared. Nothing is impossible. Sometimes the fear of, am I ready for this master's degree? I remember when I finished my undergraduate, my parents wanted me to do a master's degree, but inside my mind I was like, are you sure I'm fit? Am I good enough to do a master's degree? Because probably we've heard wrong narrations from people that, oh, master's degree is so hard.
Right.
But when I started, it was a little bit different. I just had to adjust to it. So I feel everybody is good to start whatever you want to start. Pursue your dream. Don't hold anything back. Go ahead. Good thing about Arkansas Tech here, for our experience, I love the style of teaching. It's kind of flexible.
Sure.
It's a little different from where I come from, but I like it here because you're already learning something and you don't know you're already learning it. Then when you look back, you discover you've learned a lot. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah. Well, number one, thank you for spending some time with us and let us ask you some questions. Number two, best of luck on your next chapter. And I do hope you keep in touch and let us know where you end up and share your successes and maybe a few pictures as your daughter as she grows up as well.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Dr. Bradley. I'm glad to be here. It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
So.
Peter Babatuyi, everybody.